now. Hi, my name is Randy Rolfe, and I'm a wellness consultant with Nikken. We're independent consultants, and this is a live presentation, which is also recorded. And there's a whole series of them every week to present the products as well as the business, and some in-depth about the technologies as well. So do check out with the person who sent you to this call any of these different live presentations through the week. And as I said, they're recorded as well at theroyalalliance.com to allow you to catch them later if you don't see them live. So what I'm going to be sharing today is our products, an overview of the products and what Nikken has done for many, many people over the years. So I'm going to start with a short PowerPoint here. Let's see. Share my screen. And Nikken is about discovering active wellness. And I discovered it 19 years ago in August. Started August 19th with my Nikken business, and was so excited about it because it fit in with my philosophy of prevention and doing everything you can to keep yourself healthy for life. Let me just turn off my phone here. And this was a whole nother dimension of health. I had taught myself nutrition in the 70s and got certified in the early 80s and been teaching it ever since in my parenting practice, and also to the lawyers when I was practicing law in the 70s and 80s. And this was a whole nother dimension of returning the body to natural energy where it can work best. And the core of the idea of active wellness is to make the right decisions, the little decisions every day that build up to whether we're becoming humans being more, reaching our potential, and that's the motto of the company, or humans being under stress, not achieving our full potential, not feeling like we're fully alive and contributing in the way we want to contribute. And it's those daily choices and habits that determine our quality of life. Small choices and consistency through time make a radical difference in your income, your health, your relationships, your happiness, and your success. And I've written a number of books on family health and family communications, and it's absolutely true. The healthier you are physically and mentally, the more likely you are to have great relationships and to be successful at work. So where does it all start? What's the health environment right now? Unfortunately, it's not good, and it's a lot worse than it was 19 years ago when I started. First of all, stress is the silent killer. It's involved in every major condition that kills us early or reduces our quality of life. Let me just make sure that everybody's muted. Just a moment here. Okay, gotcha. So stress builds up in the body. It's basically when tissues are overused and the body can't recover quickly enough, you get stress. The body becomes acidic, the mood dips, and you have more likelihood of degenerative diseases and also infections and inflammation and allergies and so on. Poor sleep and weight gain are also often connected to stressful living conditions. And sleep is the huge problem now. 70% of Americans say they have sleep issues. And we know from research that one poor night's sleep drops your immune system by 30 to 60%. So it's no wonder that when we're partying and going out, yeah, we might be eating too much or drinking too much, but just not getting enough sleep can reduce your immune system so that you tend to catch whatever's going around. Air and water. Wow, don't have to say much about that. It's very clear. The pollution levels are high. The carbon dioxide is increasing. I just saw a graph of that yesterday. We are keeping more and more toxins in the atmosphere and also in our homes, indoor air can be worse than outdoor because we've closed up our homes in the 70s to save on heating and cooling costs. But what it does is it concentrates all the chemicals that we bring into our home, cleaning, outgassing from even bedding, from curtains, from carpet, and all the cleaning products, products in our clothes when we buy them, dry cleaning emits stuff, and of course so many people use chemicals for cleaning, even house paint outgasses, and that all gets concentrated. Also, the positive ions build up, and they're the ones that are not positive for our health. If you go by a waterfall or a forest or up in the mountains, you're going to have many, many more negative ions, and that's what really makes it easy for the lungs to pick up the oxygen and oxygenate the tissues. Water, we hear about Flint, Michigan. I just heard about it yesterday. The water's still not free of lead, and many cities are admitting now that they have too much lead in their water, and 260 different contaminants have been found in tap water. Bottled water has been found to contain thousands of chemicals, and all they do with bottled water is they take tap water and remove the chlorine so that it tastes good. Some of those brands that are produced by Coke and Pepsi, you can realize they don't care a whole lot about the quality of the beverages you're drinking. So what do? Let's see, I want to get to my next slide. The people who suffer the most are our children, of course. This is the first generation that appears that their longevity will be shorter than their parents. And that's just been proven as far as the American dream. This is the first time that children are making less than their parents, adjusted for inflation and everything. And this is another stress on our kids. But 1 out of every 5 adolescents were obese in last count, and already 30% of our children are overweight. And we know it's because of overeating and undernourishment, inadequate consumption of essential nutrients. And we're seeing in earlier and earlier ages cardiovascular disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and so on. This is unacceptable. Less than half of adolescents eat the recommended amount of vegetables. Low-income families obviously are in worse condition, more stress, less access to fresh food, more anxiety and depression because of the burdens on them and their families, and also heavy marketing of obesity promoting cheap junk products to them, and less accessibility to good health care advice and prevention. Only 27.1% of high school children report meeting the standards of the Department of Health and Human Services guidelines for physical activity. And you can imagine if they're not eating well, they don't feel energetic, and over a third of them are overweight. They don't feel like running around and climbing trees. So what do we do? The answer is active wellness. Educating ourselves and making choices every day that make the difference. And I know when I was counseling families on health and communication, it was the little things. Do you smile in the morning? Do you choose a decent breakfast? Do you sit with your kids while they're eating so that they know that eating the right foods is important? So we talk about being healthy by choice, not by chance. What I've just described is what's happening to most people by chance, but we can be healthy by choice. It's not as hard as we think. We just need to make those little decisions to educate ourselves and act on them. Along comes Nikken, which makes it even easier because it's the only company in the world that has a totally holistic approach to health. And their philosophy is based on humans being more and the 5 pillars of health, which the founder over 40 years ago, almost 42 now, said that true health depends on healthy body, healthy mind, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. all of these need to be in balance and abundance for the others not to suffer. Obviously, if you're aching in your body or you have a bad attitude surrounded by negative people, you're not going to do well at work. That's going to affect your finances and certainly your interaction with your family. Likewise, if your finances are really short, other things will suffer. If the work you're doing is meaningless, you don't feel you're contributing to society, or you don't have the time to help out with the charitable institutions you want to, you don't feel good about yourself. That affects everything else. So we start with Nikken with a good attitude that we are meant to be healthy and we can get healthy without that much work. And then we do it. We use products to help our bodies get healthy. And here's where Nikken developed the idea of having a wellness home, having everything in your home environment to restore you, renew you, and help keep all those 5 pillars healthy. So the very first products were based on magnetism to restore us to the natural energy field of the earth. We live in concrete blocks on concrete slabs with electric lights, and now with Wi-Fi going through our bodies constantly from our phones and cell towers, and even our appliances in the kitchen emit vibrations, as do our computers and our TVs. So we need to restore ourselves to the natural magnetic energy field, which allows everything to work better at the cellular and the molecular levels. All fluids move better in a magnetic field, and we've known this for decades. And even back to the ancient Greeks, the athletes would spend time in the caves that were known to have that magnetic energy to balance and replenish their bodies. So Nikken's first product was the insoles. Then they developed a sleep pad, a futon based on the Japanese style sleeping, and then a line of fabulous nutritionals, which I got very excited about. Being a nutritionist, they're at the cutting edge of everything that's going on in nutrition science, and it's all about energy and balance. And then they developed a water system, which it recreates water as if it just came out of a mountain stream. Then they developed air technology to increase the beneficial ions, those negative ions. We have a number of products that emit those beneficial negative ions. And from time to time, we've had a special air filter as well that did the same thing. And there is one now available that's fantastic. And our last technology that's been added is the light technology, which is full spectrum and adds blue, which keeps you alert and then makes it easier for you to fall asleep at night. And the very newest technology is pulsed magnetic field technology, which you can apply a wonderful little handheld unit to any part of your body to help it relax, reduce tension, and feel better in moments. It's quite astonishing. So this is a graphic of the various lines of Nikken's products, nutrition and skincare. If you're looking at the video, you'll see the box of Osteodens, which is one of our signature nutritional additions to the market. There's nothing else like it on the market, and you can say that of most Nikken products. They don't come out with anything unless it adds to the wellness of the people that are going to be using the products. So the Osteodens was developed by Dr. Naidu, a famous microbiologist, and it's designed to work with the body to rebalance bone mineral structure. So there are no side effects because it's using a natural giant molecule that is in mother's milk to help babies grow their bone system. So I could talk about that for half an hour, but I can't. And then there's the juice, the Siaga juice, which is the highest antioxidant juice on the market. There's no added sugar, water, preservatives, colorings. It's just the exotic fruits that are very high in antioxidants, which also helps with the immune system, the cardiovascular system, and the digestive system and dealing with stress. So we have a full line of nutritionals, and they all work together, so you can't overdo it, which I really, really love, because often people come in, they've read about one nutrient and then they overdo that and the others need supplement. But Nikken has it all balanced. The skincare is phenomenal. True Elements skincare, it's the finest that you can get on the market. It's eco-certified. Then you have environmental, the water, air, and light. The water I mentioned does 5 different things to the water to return it to the same quality as you would get if you were drinking from a pristine mountain stream. And then the signature area of Nikken is the magnetics, the insoles you'll see on the screen. They're in their 4th iteration. They not only give you the magnetics, but also the far infrared and the negative ions. And same with the little square, that's the Kenko Flex that you can put anywhere on your body to reduce tension, increase circulation if that's what needs to be done, or to reduce inflammation, because that's what the body does for itself if it's in a good energy field. And then there's a picture of our sleep system, which is the core of our product line. It's phenomenal. It's been reduced in price a couple of times to make it more accessible, because it makes all the difference. It can be life-changing for people who aren't getting good sleep. Your quality of sleep improves. You may even have to stay in bed less because the quality is so good. And nothing goes stagnant. Everything stays moving through the night. So your digestion fixes itself. The immune system rebuilds itself. The nervous system rebuilds. The memory is laid down better because you're in a relaxed state. So Nikken has everything you need to create the ultimate wellness environment in your home. So whatever you do during the day, you come home and get restored. So let me tell you about some personal experiences. When I started Nikken, I had no complaints. Nobody in my family had any complaints. We were very active with organic foods, cooking at home, and physically active, and had a loving environment in the family. So we were all quite healthy. I only got a cold like once a year after the holidays. I didn't expect anything to change. I just wanted to do whatever I could to prolong a healthy quality of life. So when I started Nikken, I couldn't believe it that I actually slept better. When I woke up, I didn't have to stretch. Everything was already working. I was sharp. I didn't need to rub my eyes and say, oh dear, I didn't want to get up so early. I was ready to go. And our teenage kids had the same thing. Instead of like, oh, what am I going to do today? They jump out of bed and say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It made a huge difference. And then in 19 years, you can imagine a few things have happened. I fell seriously on my knee and broke my kneecap. It took a couple of years for it to grow back, but I can now say the body is always trying to heal, and it does grow back. But my doctors just could not believe how fast I recovered, because I was sleeping on the sleep system, surrounding my knee with Nikken magnets and far infrared wraps. And the healing process really benefited from those Nikken products. And the other story I like to tell about myself is that we built an old farmhouse back in the late 70s when my son was just born. I had a huge accident. A stairway we were replacing fell on me, and I thought I was dead, but I heard my baby crying because the whole house shook, and I realized I wasn't dead. But I had totally messed up my lower back, and for a couple of years, I couldn't sit for more than half an hour without excruciating pain. And when I finally discovered the Nikken products, I had no more residual pain. I could go to the movies for a 3-hour movie. I could sit in the car for 10 hours driving to California. It's been a lifesaver, because so many people, when they have an early injury, they think that they're going to suffer for the rest of their lives. You've probably heard athletes say, well, I messed up my knee in college, or I've had a bad back ever since a skiing accident 20 years ago. Nikken can help with those situations. It's really amazing. But I still think the main thing about Nikken is to get healthy in body and mind and stay that way, to minimize the effects of little crises that we all have, and to maximize our longevity and the quality of our health. So that's really where I want to focus my attention. Is everybody needs these products because of modern living. We've distorted our energy fields. We are not living the normal human life that we evolved as a species to live, and only changed most in the last 100 years with concrete slabs and Thomas Edison's electric alternating current, and now the whole digital world that is surrounding us with microwave, which can really impact our health, not only of the body, but of the mind. When I first started Nikken, I had some really dramatic effects. Because I knew so much about natural health, I thought, well, what if other people don't realize how important it is to support your natural energy? And when we bought our old country house in New York that I had the stairway fall on me, we did not have a concrete basement. We had a mud basement, and all the energy of the earth came right through the wooden floor. And we didn't even have fiberboard under the floor. It was just these thick slabs of virgin wood. So when people came to visit, they said, I never get tired. And we used to put them to work to help us rebuild the house. And they said, we don't get tired here. And it was because we were all getting the magnetic energy of the earth all the time, even when we were indoors. We also minimized the wiring. We did only what the code required, because we knew that wiring, that electricity, distorts the natural energy field. But what if everybody doesn't appreciate that? I thought, well, will they really appreciate Nikken products if they don't understand how important those natural energies are? Well, that's when it was so exciting to put the products on people that they just wanted to feel better. They didn't care about my theory about why it would be good. And it made huge differences. One of my earliest clients had hurt her ankle. They told her that she had post-traumatic arthritis and she would have to have morphine or bond the bones, or just hobble around the rest of her life. Well, she used Nikken products around her ankle, and in 2 weeks, she felt normal again. That was like a miracle, and we do miracles every day. I have another lady who's been a diabetic since she was 5, and she continually reduces the amount of insulin she takes. Her doctors don't understand it. She's had to change doctors a couple times because they're like, this doesn't happen. But she uses all the Nikken products, and she has for over 20 years, almost 20 years. And she knows that this can make a huge, huge difference. So we've helped many diabetics since then. And weight loss, our nutritionals are phenomenal. There's a big association between poor sleep and putting on fat because of the stress of low sleep quality. And so the sleep and the nutritionals together can help hugely with people achieving healthy weight loss and staying at a healthy weight. So certainly for athletes, we have Olympians who use our products, and professional golfers. And as athletes age, Nikken is amazing because they recover so much more quickly, in often half the time. So they can continue their career, because the thing that limits older athletes is usually their recovery time. They can't play, every day. They need time. But with Nikken, that wonderful deep sleep can restore them, and they can really extend their professional career or even their amateur career. I have 2 tennis players that are clients, and they absolutely adore the products. They feel they've extended their healthy playing time and even improved their game, made them stronger, more focused mentally, and quicker on their feet. So there's endless stories. Please go to the other live presentations. Many of them have other testimonials about the products. And so I'm going to go back to my slides briefly. And invite you to discover Nikken. Discover it, live it, share it. Active wellness and living a life in balance, there's nothing like it. If you don't have your health, everything else suffers. So we invite you to be a customer. You can really be like a client to your Nikken sponsor, because they really want to help you enjoy the 5 pillars of health and total active wellness. If you fall in love with the products, as most people do once they try them, you can become a part-time entrepreneur and earn a retail profit while you share the products with others, or sell online. So many people are starting to do that. And you can also make it a full-time career. There are many people in Nikken who have actually replaced their income from other sources and have even become millionaires sharing these products. So get with whoever sent you to this program and start the products. Start your wellness home. Start with the insoles, start with the Osteodens nutritionals, start with one of the wonderful power bands for your neck or your wrist, or the back flex that's just so amazing, the knee wraps. The water is so key. If you're hydrated, everything works better, including your mind, your brain. You'll sleep better, and you'll respond much better to healthy energy. So thank you very much for joining us for this product showcase. And I'm going to end it now. So thank you all for joining me, and have a good turnout. Thanks. I'm going to stop the recording.